Hey team, in this video I am going to give you 5 questions that you need to ask an agency or consultant before you hire them to run your ads. Hey there and welcome back to another video. If you are thinking about outsourcing your Facebook ads, well then keep on watching because I'm going to give you 5 questions that you need to ask that prospective agency or consultant to make sure that you are hiring a good partner. As the owner of a Facebook advertising agency and an official Facebook marketing partner agency, I have worked with hundreds of businesses managing their Facebook ads for them and managing their accounts of spends from £5 a day upwards to $50,000 per day. So I know what it takes to ensure a really good client and agency relationship and some of the questions that need to happen. Now, one of the first things and the most important things when starting a relationship with an agency or a consultant is ensuring that you get off to the right start. And that's making sure that both parties are very crystal clear on what success looks like and what failure also looks like, and what each party has to do in order to get to that goal. So I want to give you the questions that you need to ask in order to weed out the bad agencies and the bad consultants, and guess what? There's a lot of them, and to ensure that you're only working with the very best. Question number 1. Can you showcase consistent results? One of the questions that we get asked a lot, which is actually, I believe, the wrong question, is can you show us proof that you've worked with this specific industry before, this specific niche before? For example, have you worked with real estate agents before? Now, this is a really well-intentioned question because you're trying to get proof that the agency or the consultant knows what they're doing, but it's actually not the right question to ask. And the reason for that is because even though you've got different industries, different niches, different spaces, real estate versus health, for example, 2 completely different spaces, what's going to be happening is the funnel and the ad campaign for each one is going to be pretty much the same. The only thing that's going to change is the copy and the audience. Now, a good advertising agency will be able to work with the client in order to create great copy, and will be able to work their own magic in order to find the audience. So trying to find an agency that has experience in your specific niche, although might be a nice to have, isn't a necessity. What I'm more interested in is what sort of campaign are we trying to run here? And have you shown consistent results within that type of campaign? For example, lead generation for local businesses. If you're a real estate agent and you're trying to get people in your local area to sign up for, let's say, a free consultation, does the agency have proof and experience consistently, which is key, in being able to generate leads and customers and appointments for local businesses? The consistency part is the key, because anyone can have a one-off great campaign, swing a bat and they hit a hole in one, but it takes skill and effort to do that consistently. So I want you to ask the agency, the consultant, can you show us results in this type of campaign consistently? There are a lot of really bad agencies and consultants out there that will get one good result and they'll showcase that to the world and say that they're experts in Facebook ads, when in fact they're not. They just hit a one-hit wonder, and that's why I want you to ask the consistency question. Question number 2. Do you have a methodology or a philosophy that you can share with us? So every single good agency or consultant should have a methodology or a system that they have developed over time, working with their clients, getting results. When they're building lots and lots of campaigns, working with lots and lots of different businesses, they should over time see what's working and what's not, and what works and what doesn't work. And as they do that, they should be able to develop their own methodology, their own system to say, when we work with a new business, we implement this system. And we implement this system because we know it works, because we've worked with all these different brands and had these consistent results with it. Now, with that in mind, they should also have a philosophy that goes with it, which is around why does their methodology work? What is it with their methodology that makes it work? Because if they have a methodology and it's a black hat methodology where they're going to be doing a ton of dodgy stuff, then I'm not too keen on that. Whereas if they have a philosophy that's all about improving the relationship with the customer and building relationships with customers, then chances are they're going to be a really good agency to work with. So for example, we have a methodology called the VF method, which is a 4-step process that we take from creating content all the way down to gaining testimonials from customers. And the philosophy behind that is all about building trust and providing value to the customer based on where they're at in their customer journey. So we can showcase to clients when they ask us, this is our methodology, this is the philosophy behind the methodology, and these are the results that we've got through this methodology, and you can see that we've had a ton of them. Question number 3, and I love this one, is are you running your own Facebook ads? You would be surprised at the number of agencies and consultants who claim to be Facebook ad experts and claim that Facebook ads are the best thing in the world, yet when you go on their website, they don't have the Facebook pixel installed, so they don't have the tracking from Facebook installed on their own website. You go into the Facebook ads library and they're not even running their own Facebook ads. And it just tells me a massive thing about that business or that agency or consultant. If they're trying to sell a service that they're not actually utilizing themselves, well, what does that actually say about them? Does it say that they're not very good at Facebook ads because they found that they can't make Facebook ads work for them? Or does it say that they don't actually believe in the product enough for them to do it, and they're just trying to sell to you to try and make money themselves rather than trying to get you results? So I love this question. It's a good question to ask to just make sure that the agency or the consultant know what they're doing and actually practice what they preach. Question number 4 is an obvious one, which is how much do you charge and what are the terms? This is obviously a big one, an important one, that you need to know how much that agency is going to charge. And it's also important for you to understand what terms are they going to try to tie you into. Are they going to tie you into a 3-month contract? Are they going to do monthly rolling? I typically find that most agencies and most good agencies will either start with a 90-day program, a 3-month contract, or they'll go monthly rolling from the outset. For the ones that are doing a 3-month contract, this is what we do, then they'll do monthly rolling after that. And typically we will do 3 months because it does sometimes take a lot of time to get Facebook ads working for you, especially if you're starting from scratch. So 3 months is typically normal, and then followed by a monthly rolling contract after that. So just be sure to ask them that. What are the terms that you're tying me into? You don't want to be tied into a 12-month contract with a rubbish agency, and ask them, of course, how much do they charge? And after you've got the price on what they charge, it's important for you to understand and try and do the maths around this. So what is the budget that you're going to be putting into Facebook? What is the management fee for them managing your ads? And what's the lifetime value of a customer for you? Do the maths work? Because if they're charging you $5,000 a month and your advertising budget is, let's say, $25,000 a month, that's 30 grand going out per month. Are you actually going to be able to make a profit from that 30 grand? Well, it's down to you and down to the agency to help you do the maths to try and figure that out before you get into that contract. And question number 5 is a really, really important one, which is, are you going to share the data with me, or are you going to keep it in your own ad account? And this is a question that is going to catch out a lot of agencies and a lot of consultants, because in the Facebook ad space, there's a lot of agencies and consultants which will create an ad account for the client, but the agency or consultant will own it. Meaning that you as the customer, if you want to go and look at the ads and look at what's going on in the account to see what the agency or the consultant is doing, you have no access to that ad account because you don't own it. And it also means when you say to the client, look, I want to leave, I want to go on, I want to move on, they're going to say, well, okay, that's fine, but we're going to delete your ad account, so you've got no access to the data. Now, when you're advertising on Facebook and you're spending money, you're acquiring lots of data on what images are working, ads are working, audiences are working. If the agency owns the ad account and you decide to leave and they delete everything, when you start advertising on Facebook again, you're starting from a blank canvas. You've got no data. Facebook has no idea who you are. You can't even retarget people that have been on your website because the agency will own the Facebook pixel as well. It's a really crappy situation to be in, and I highly advocate that if you ever work with an agency or a consultant, that you give them access to your ad account. So if you decide to leave, you can remove their access from your ad account and you keep all the data. So when you move on to a new agency, or if you decide to take it in-house, you've got all the data there, which means you can learn from it. If they own the data, they hold all the power in the relationship. And I've seen some really messy situations with clients and agencies and consultants battling it out to try and get the information, to try and get the data. But at the end of the day, the agency and the consultant own that data, and there's nothing you can do about it. So be sure to ask this question: are we going to have the data in our ad account, or are you going to create an ad account for us? And always, always, always ensure that you own the data. If they say they're going to create the ad account, there is no good reason for that other than to try and hold you hostage. So do not believe it. Do not let them do that. So there we have it. Those are 5 questions to ask your prospective agency or consultant if you're thinking about outsourcing your Facebook ads or any advertising for that matter. These are questions that I've kind of come to conclusion are the best to ask based on hundreds of conversations with prospective clients and hundreds of conversations with the businesses that we work with all the time at Fat Pony Media, which is my Facebook ads agency. Now, if you have any questions or comments or anything you'd like to ask me about this video or anything that I covered, drop it in the comments below. More than happy to answer those. Drop a like if you like this video, hit subscribe, that bell notification if you enjoyed this video so much, and be sure to share it with someone that needs to see it. So if you know a friend that's thinking about outsourcing their Facebook ads, send this video to them because it's going to help them weed out the bad agencies, because if you get a bad agency or a bad consultant, it's costly. It's going to cost you a lot of money. So ensure that you use these questions, weed out the bad agencies and consultants, and only work with the really good people that know what they're doing. Thanks so much for watching this video. I enjoyed creating it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. See you next week.